Well, guys, my last day in Serbia in Belgrade, and as you can see, it is nice weather. Let me show you how nice the weather is. And yesterday it was okay. I went for a long walk yesterday, second time this week, and I was very tired. I slept after that. So this is the balcony over here. And this is my view. So if you see that big tower over there, that new towers, that is the waterfront. That are buildings next to the Donau River, and it is a big project from Arab people, Chinese people, and because they discovered that the investments in Belgrade are very good profit. That's why people invest, to make profit, otherwise they do not invest. And it is a beautiful waterside with an unbelievable big shopping center, and they are still building houses, as you can see over there. And over there, that direction, it is the old center, but this building is in front of it, so it is too far away. It is about 4 kilometers driving, so that's not very far. But yeah, a little bit too far for me to walking, 4 kilometers. I'm not used to walking. So this is my view. And this is the old style Belgrade houses you had before. They came with this kind of houses. This is the original building style of houses, what you see over here. And my supermarket is over there, just where you see those cars driving between the trees. There's my supermarket, and it is open 24 hours. You also have a supermarket just here, 30 meters in front of me, but that's a small supermarket and it's more expensive. And over there you have a square, a roundabout, that is about 200 meters, yeah. And there you have a bakery, what is 24 hours open, a restaurant, and a money change, what is 24, and also a little supermarket, what is 24 hours open. Yeah, this is in my town, we do not have that. We do not have shops. And also you have a lot of drugstores what are open 24 hours. Rotterdam is not that big. Rotterdam is about 700,000 inhabitants, and well, we do not have those facilities that we can shop around 24 hours a day, or go to a drugstore 24 hours a day, things like that, or to a bakery. And but yeah, this is a big city, yeah. So there's always life here, you know. That's the difference with my town. But yeah, you can see that these people do not have it's not as rich as the Netherlands. The Netherlands is really a rich country, my friends. And as soon as I am in Belgium or abroad, I see the difference. Anyway, why do I make a video today? Well, my eyes catch this premium, so I cannot open it because this is a Dutch, the Telegraph is Dutch, but I translated the page in English. Whiskey, art, watches, Lego, the hunt for invaluable investments against inflation. So what does it mean? But before I start with this, I always see that Shell just had a record profit. I mean, these guys let you believe that there is a shortage of oil and gas, and I mean, but Shell have a record profit. You know, we normal folks, you and me, yeah. They let you and me believe, well, there's a shortage and you have to pay very much for your gasoline and for your gas. But in the meantime, Exxon and Shell, they are making record profits. You know, so the only persons who are gaining from this situation are the people who are already rich, who have shares in Shell and in Exxon. Those are the people who profit from this situation. This is the time where we are living, because these guys, they do not want to lose one penny. Yeah, these rich guys. Yeah, they're getting richer and richer every year. While we normal folks, for the last 40 years, I mean, there was a time when productivity, yeah, and salary went up in the same pace. Yeah, and then, I mean, if you understand what I'm talking about, productivity, yeah, so the profit from what a person can make for the employer, yeah, and the wages went a long time. They went together. Yeah, the profits went up, and the salaries for each person, you know, I mean, they also went up. And then you get this from 1980. So this is 1980. You get this. These lines. And the salaries went up a little bit, while the profits keeps. And the gap is now like this. The gap was always like this, up till around 1980, and then, yeah, my friends. So all those employers, they say, oh, we don't make so much money, we cannot pay so much salaries, blah blah blah. But in the meantime, everybody who is a little bit educated in this stuff knows exactly what's going on. These people getting richer and richer and richer, and we are normal folks, you know. Yeah, okay. Anyway, this is about the inflation. Not going to talk about the inflation. That story will be too long. I'm not an economic. I don't have an economic side, so not going to talk about that. What I'm going to talk about today is that what you see here is that people with money trying to look. I mean, we have an inflation in the Netherlands for around 10%. Yeah, in America it's the same thing. Yeah, everywhere in the world you have now that high inflation, and in countries like Turkey, 3 years ago, exactly 3 years ago, you could buy the same things with 80 lira, 80, yeah, as you can buy today with 200 lira. You need now today in Turkey 200 lira to buy the same thing what costed 80 lira 3 years ago. So that's an inflation from 250%. 250% inflation in 3 years' time. So you can say that 10% is not that much, but is this the end? I don't know. Nobody knows, my friends. Maybe in a year from now it is. We are in inflation from 20%. Everything is possible. Everything is possible. I mean, but I give you just an example from Turkey. 2.5 times in 3 years' time. I was in this country, in the wartime. That war was between 1993, 1992, and 1999, and in that period, I was here. So in the morning you had to change money, because in the evening you had more money for your German mark. We didn't have euro in that period. So for your German marks, and you get a lot of more money. So Serbian money, dinars, you know. And at a certain moment in the wartime, if you had your savings on the bank, this really happened in this country. On the bank, you had your savings on the bank. You saved your whole life. You had 100,000 in dinars, 100,000 German mark, but in dinars, yeah, on the bank. On one day, your money was gone, because you know what the government told the people here? We have a new coin. So the old money is worthless. Really, I'm laughing now, but this happened, my friends, in this country. I mean, I remember that time. Very bad period for these people here. Yeah. But inflation, I remember I had a ticket from a police officer that was about, if you calculated it back to German mark, it was 20 cents, so 20 US dollar cent, yeah? And normally that ticket would be 50 German mark, but it was because of the inflation. The government was not that, didn't follow the inflation, because the official bank change was different than the black market. So I gave the guy 1 German mark. I said, keep the change. That police officer. Yeah. I went dinner. You have only one dinner a day. I went dinner 3 times a day, my friend, because a dinner costs you €2.50 with everything around it, and it was, for me, it was a fantastic time. Of course, it was a very bad time for the people living here, and wartime isn't a good time. It is a very bad, war is a very bad thing, but for me, with my hard coin, my German mark, I felt like a king. And you had more of, Argentina had a hyperinflation too, back in those years. So there are plenty examples where you can see hyperinflation. Will we come in there? I'm not sure, but okay. This article goes about, I cannot open it because it is premium, so I do not have account, so I cannot open it. I cannot read it. They talk about whiskey, yeah, so that means that if you have an inflation from 10%, that means a year later, so in a year from now, and you have an inflation from 10%, that means that with that same money you have on your bank, you can buy back only 90% what you can buy now. That's the inflation. And they talk about, okay, investments. What kind of articles are going up in price more as that 10%? Whiskey, special blended whiskeys, yeah. But for me, that will never be an option. What more? Art. I think art is more for the rich people, I do not think you can buy a nice piece of art for €5,000, and art often started at more higher prices, so watches, well, watches is something different. Watches grew very, very hard. You can compare the growth in the value of certain watches. Yeah, certain watches, they grew extreme hard. But at the moment, last couple of months, because a lot of those crypto guys bought watches, and you see that it has already lost a lot of value. Lego. Well, Lego is, for me, Lego is garbage. I know that there are people who like Lego, and they think that Lego is a good investment, and they make money. Probably they make money with it. But it would not. Even if I know, okay, if I today invest all my money in Lego, in 5 years it is 3x in value. Even then, I would never buy Lego, because I do not like this stuff, this childish stuff. Lego. Vintage stereo. It is not on the list. It is not on the list. No, I do not think that rich people already discovered vintage stereo. My daughter is now in Dubai, and she asked me, do you want to come to Dubai for a couple of weeks, because we have a spare room? And I said, okay, I'm coming, and I already watched online for 2 shops, and one of those shops in Dubai sells vintage stereo. So I'm very interested in what the rich people, because there are only rich people there, my friends, what the rich people think about the vintage stereo over there. So, but okay, maybe next time. Maybe I will be in Dubai in the coming 3 years for 100%. I will make that video for you. I was hoping, I was already prepared to make that video, you know, because I would be there in 10 days from now. But everything changed, all plans changed, and my daughter will not be there, so I do not have the opportunity to go there. Anyway, vintage stereo. If you followed my videos, then you go back, and then I often say in those videos, this price will be double in 5 years. That was in the beginning. Not that they rose 100%, so doubled in price, but most pieces even tripled in price in those 10 years. Tripled. It was normal. You pay in that period, 9 or 10 years ago, for a Marantz 2265B, the normal price was 225 euro. That was the price for a Marantz 2265B. Price today is 750 euro. So that's it tripled in price, and not even top of the line, my friends. No. So, do you know other articles what tripled in price in 10 years time? Maybe Lego, I'm not sure. Maybe watches, I'm not sure. Maybe whiskey, I'm not sure. I do not think one of those articles what I just mentioned tripled in price. I do not think so. No. The thing is, you have a lot of Lego. The thing is, you have a lot of watches. They still make watches. The thing is, art is too expensive for normal people like you and me. I mean, cannot buy, I think, a painting, or your knowledge have to be so big, yeah. But for most of us, paintings for 5,000 euro now, that they will be 10,000 in 10 years from now. I mean, that I think art is a gamble. I think. Or you have to buy those pieces. What I mean from the big artists, from Leonardo da Vinci, Rembrandt, Mondrian, and etc. And those are already too expensive for normal people. So, but new artists, paintings for 5,000 euro. No, I would not. I would not put my money there. No. And vintage stereo, I think if you know how these guys have contact with, so you have a few influencers, you know, long before there was internet, you already had those influencers from those rich people, you know, and they always listen to a guy who already makes so much money that they think, okay, this guy makes so much money. One time a year, you have a meeting. We have to go to that meeting to hear what he is saying, because if we following his advice, we for sure gonna make money. You understand? And there are a few of those people, and not sure how these guys communicate, if they have a magazine, or I'm not sure. I know some of them have meetings, so they rent a hotel and a big hall, and a lot of people comes to that speech, and you have to pay for that speech, for the entrance, and he's going to explain what will happening this coming year, how you can make money this coming year, you know, and I mean, if one of those guys, one of those top 10 influencers, discover vintage stereo, you know, out of the blue air, because we already, you and my viewers, we already discovered this stuff, but we discovered this stuff as a as a sound device, not as a investment, as a sound device. But if you would have invested in this stuff 10 years ago, or 20 years ago, ooh, you would have. I mean, I sold. If I would keep all the most beautiful things, if I would have kept those things, you know, from the beginning, like Simon is doing now. Simon is smart. Simon is a collector, but a collector is also, he knows that every collector knows in the back of his head, you know, he sees his collection growing in money because you know the prices, you know, prices go up, and then in the back of your head, you know, okay, I didn't bought nothing for the last 3 years, but okay, the value is 5,000 up. You understand? I have the same stuff as 3 years ago, but it's 5,000 more value, you know. But if you buy something new in the shop, you know, a new audio equipment, I never heard of any audio equipment what you buy new in the shop today, what have a higher value in the coming 10 years. I never heard of that. You know, there's something with cars at the moment. I heard that some cars, the waiting list is so long that if you buy a car now in the shop, you can make profit if you sell it right away, because people do not want to wait a year, and you can make a little profit, you know. That's not the story, that's true. But audio equipment, never heard a story of that. No. Vintage audio equipment, vintage. I think vintage, my friends, is. I wanted to sell all my pieces, but not all. I am already collecting Maral's pieces. And vintage stereo is at the moment not that expensive. No, because most vintage stereo at the moment, most audio equipment, so vintage stereo is bought by people, not for the investment. None of you, none of the vintage audio buyers at the moment is buying vintage as an investment. Vintage audio buyers buy vintage because they love it. It's their hobby. And they buy one piece. Some buy 2 pieces. And you have a few collectors. Yeah? And those people who buy those vintage stuff, those vintage pieces at the moment, they have a hard time. They have a high electricity bill, high gas bill, the rent is up, house prices are up, the rent is high. You know, if you want to buy a house, you cannot buy that house because the rent is too high. Gasoline is expensive. But the salary grew only a little bit, you know. I mean, let's be honest, my friends. They make you happy. They say, oh, you get a 5% salary increase because of the inflation. But the inflation is 10%. And your salary only grew 5%. That means you went down 5%. You lost 5%. You get poorer 5%. Yeah? Up till 1980, you had productivity and salary. Yeah, so this is the salary of a employee. Yeah, and this is the productivity from that same employee. And every year that employee had more productivity because of the automation, computers. Yeah, so every year that went like this. It went even. You know, your boss make more money. Yeah, productivity. Your salary went up. You know, there was always a gap, of course, but. And from 1980 on, this happened from 1980 off. And then we are here. The gap is huge at the moment. So every year that factory, yeah, or your employer, doesn't matter what employer you have, yeah, made more money. But your salary didn't went up equal with it. No, it went slowly up. Yeah, slowly it went from here, it went to here, and the productivity went sky high. This is what they did with us. You understand? And now you have the inflation, 10%. Yeah, and they make you happy with a 5% salary increase. Come on, man. Wake up. But okay, it is there. We cannot help it. I cannot help it. You cannot help it. It's there. So, and at the moment, vintage came down a little bit. The price of vintage stereo equipment. That's because it was never a investment. The investors, so the article I just show you guys with a lot of money, never saw vintage audio equipment as a investment for the future. You know, that okay, I mean, the best investment is always real estate and gold. You know, over the long run. But those rich people, yeah, they never bet on one horse. First thing what you learn if you start investing, never bet on one horse. So they have 5% in art, 5% in maybe whiskey, 5% in watches, 5% in gold or 10%. I think gold is a higher, 10%. Real estate, 20%. Real estate is always the best, you know, over the years. Things like that, you know. But none of them invest in vintage stereo, whilst vintage stereo grew 300% the last 10 years, so tripled in price. Go back to my videos, my first videos. You can see what I paid back in those days. Yeah. But why isn't vintage stereo prices going up? Because inflation also means that a brand new amplifier, what costs you today 5,000 euro in the shop, with an inflation from 10%, that same amplifier will cost you 5,500 in a year because of the inflation, 10%. Yeah. So you would think, okay, vintage stereo is the same thing. Yeah, it has to go up 10%. No, vintage stereo at the moment, most people who buy vintage stereo is a few yuppies. Yuppies means the people who wants to be different. You know, they have a yuppie lifestyle. They want to have something special in their house. And if you come with a normal stereo set, it's nothing special. If you have that Marantz 2245 or 2238 in the corner. What's that, you know? Because those yuppies are young people, they do not know it. But it is beautiful, it is a piece of art. I mean, those Marantz pieces are just, I mean, if you want to give me a Mondrian painting, my friends, it is just lines straight. I can do it for you. You can do it. You can, if you see a Mondrian painting, okay, I'm going to make the same painting, the same size, the same colors. You can do it. And nobody see the difference. Yes, a specialist see the difference right away, of course. But if you have people over, okay, is it a real one? Yes, it's a real one. Most of them would believe you if you know. I mean, it's easy but you know how much a real one? I mean, for a few lines. I mean, come on, man. I prefer that Marantz, that beautiful Marantz, sitting in the corner, industrial art. It is industrial art. I mean, it will never comes back. I mean, if you see GBL, I mean, it is pathetic. I mean, they have some amplifier. They make with a vintage look. And the price of it is unbelievable, my friends, but come on, man. How can you compare that GBL vintage style, modern vintage style audio amplifier with a Marantz 22 338, one of the smallest. I mean, everybody would say, well, what is that ugly thing over there, the GBL? Everybody would go for the Marantz 22 because that is the real art. Yeah. And they do not come back, my friends, because nobody's making a tuner anymore, a analog tuner. So those receivers won't come back. It is past. It is antique. It is history. But it is beautiful, and that's why yuppies like it so much. Some yuppies already discovered it. Audio lovers like you and me, you know, and we love that sound, that tubey sound, and yeah. So not sure what to do. I have a lot of stuff in my stereo room, so I was planning to sell it all. Do I have to sell it? Or wait, because if I sell it, I've got money back. And if there's an inflation from 10% this year and next year 10%, I would rather prefer to keep that stuff. You understand? But yeah. What's good, my friends? Your opinion, please. What do you think? I mean, now most people who buy this stuff is people who do not have money to buy new high-end, because high-end is good. So I mean, good high-end is very expensive. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure who these people are who buy amplifiers from 20,000 euros and speakers from 10,000 euro of 20. I'm not sure who these people are. I mean, rich people, of course, but I do not know them. You know, I do not know these people, but these people are around. These persons are around, because otherwise, you would not see this stuff in the shops. They are selling, you know. For me, it is an incredible that some persons pay 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 for certain amplifiers, or 20,000 for certain speakers, 30, 40,000 for certain speakers. They are incredible amounts for normal people like you and me, but these people are around, you know. Like there are people who are drinking bottles of wine, but the value from 1,500 euro, and they drink it, they finish that bottle in an hour. Yeah, those people are around. So, but the people who buy vintage now are the yuppies who want something special in their house. You know, they're not really the audio lovers, but they like the art, the beauty, you know, because they know they have something special in their house. Or people who have a 60s, that's also fashion, a 60 furniture in their house. They think, okay, I want to complete that furniture with a vintage 1960, 70 receiver or amplifier. Yeah. And most people who buy vintage stuff are people who don't have so much money at the moment, who do not have so much money, who do not have money to buy amplifiers for 20,000 or 10,000 euro, who do not have that money, but they want a good sound, and they think, okay, for 500 I can still buy a beautiful Marantz. It is already expensive, very expensive, 500 euro, if you compare it with the price of 10 years ago. But yeah, I simply do not have money to buy. What can you buy in the shop for 500 euro? I mean, let's be honest, nothing. So that's the people who are buying vintage stereo now at the moment, not investors. If ever the investors discovered vintage audio equipment as an investment, then prices will be skyrocket. Believe me, my friends, because it's one of those influences, one of those rich influences, yeah, and one of those meetings. You say, you know what I discovered? vintage stereo, the coming 10 years, it will be double in price, maybe triple in price. And all those followers who do not know what to do with all that money they have a lot of money, mountains of it, and think, hey, that's a good idea. They go on eBay a little bit, they do a little bit homework, and they start buying those models, those top models, as an investment. And then prices will go skyrocket. But until that time, at the moment, prices are a little bit down. Yeah, that's what I didn't follow. I was not on Marktplaats Dutch eBay for 6 months, but that's what Simon told me. Simon told me the prices went down. He told me that because I talked with Simon, so he told me that okay, probably because people have a hard. People who buy this stuff now, these are the people who do not have so much money, and these persons, they have it very difficult at the moment because of the high gasoline, the high gas prices, high electricity, etc., and the inflation. Yeah, and they do not have money at the moment to buy audio equipment. Yeah, so that's why probably prices went down a little bit. Yeah. So okay, this was the topic. Your opinion, please. Another long story without showing you audio equipment this time. And thanks for watching it. Put a thumbs up if you like. And for now I say bye bye.